Hello, this is Erik Bryant back on the Erik Bryant Show, part 2 of episode 13, wrapping up my thoughts on baseball. I had another question on Facebook that I asked. Do you think that the penalties for the players who are caught enhancement products, such as HGH or anything they might take to enhance their play, do you think the punishment of a 50-game suspension is harsh enough, or should the punishment be more? And I had one comment of a man saying that yes, it should definitely be more. They should actually, I believe the man said that they should be kicked out of the game. No, he didn't say kicked out of the game, but all of their records and achievements should be taken away. He said that Barry Bonds, in his opinion, is not the true home run king, because everybody knows he was on something when he surpassed that record held by Hank Aaron. And he was saying that they need to be suspended farther and the achievements taken away. My wife actually commented, Lauren Bryant, said that they shouldn't be penalized at all, because she does make a good point that even with steroids, it doesn't improve your eyesight. It actually hurts it, and it doesn't give you the ability to hit the ball farther. It gives you more strength, but you're still the one that has to hit the ball, has to see the ball and everything. So Barry Bonds' accomplishments might not have been as great if he was on steroids, but they're still impressive in the sense that he still had to see the ball, still had to hit the ball. It's not like steroids is something to where if you take it, you can just tap the ball, you can bunt the ball and it's going out of the ballpark. You still have to put a little power into that and get it out of there. But I mean, I'm the kind of guy that if you are taking steroids, if you are cheating or whatever to enhance your abilities, I don't want to know about it. I want to either be where everybody's cheating or nobody's cheating at all. That way I don't care about this like years later. Well, this guy was taking steroids and that's why he did this. Like the whole Marion Jones thing. She broke all those records, did all of that, and then she comes out and says, well, I was using steroids. I was a part of the whole Balco scandal, and it just really hurt me. I know as well as other people. I could have went not knowing that. I mean, a lot of people say, well, she cheated. She deserved to go to jail and do what she did, and maybe she did, but I'm just the kind of person that I watch sports because I love it. I watch it for the love, watch it for the excitement and everything. And home runs are exciting in baseball. I mean, if you want to sit there watching 1-0 pitching duels all day, or somebody stealing 70 or 80 bases and think that's exciting, I mean, that's your preference. But I mean, I think the home runs are exciting. I'm not saying I like to watch 9 to 8 baseball games every day. I mean, I like the pitching. I like the Strasburgs, the Verlanders of the league, who can shut a team down almost every time they go out there on the mound. But I mean, I also like the excitement. I like late inning 2-run homers and things like that, game-tying homers in the 9th inning and stuff. But I mean, I actually, bless you, buddy, I actually do think, honestly, with that said, I will say that the 50-game suspension to me isn't harsh enough, especially like Bartolo Colon, who gets the 50-game suspension this year. Well, you look at it, a pitcher only pitches every 5 games, every 5 days. So he's going to miss, 10, 11 starts? And that's what, a third of his starts this season are in a season? I don't think that's harsh enough. I mean, a pitcher, and with Melky Cabrera, he misses 50 games. Well, you play 162 games. So he still gets to play 112 games. That's more than half of the ball games that you're going to play, and you have to miss 50. You get, a month or two off, basically, to rest up and everything. I think that, to me, a harsher penalty would be have to put out the whole season. I mean, and if it's and if they're caught in the middle of the season, then they have to sit out the rest of the regular season. And if the team going into the playoffs they miss the playoffs too. To me, that'd be a little bit harsher. It might stop more people from doing it, but right now with the 50 games, I don't see that as a big enough risk. It certainly wasn't for Cabrera or Colon, who continued to do it until they got caught. And Melky is really a shame that he tested positive for that, and he's out the 50 games and out for the season because his team, the Giants, are in first place and have a really, really great shot to make it into the postseason this year and win that division. And with Lincecum, even though he struggled this year, and Matt Cain, who's a great pitcher, there's no telling what they can do if and when they get into the postseason. So yeah, I think that for a full season ban or suspension might stop these guys a little more, and then again, maybe not. But I think they should do it, test it out, and see if it cuts down on the cheating and the violations a little bit. I mean, it can't hurt to try to maybe make things a little bit better, get everybody on the same level playing field. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure Major League Baseball is going to tweak that rule a little bit. Maybe they've been talking about it a little bit. Talk about it more, of course, in the off season after the playoffs and everything. And I wouldn't be surprised, maybe not a whole season, but I wouldn't be surprised if they work that thing out a little more and put a little bit more than 50 games on there going into next year and beyond. Baseball is so open right now. I'll wait for my World Series predictions and playoff picks until we actually get into the playoffs. With the time I have left, I'm going to talk a little bit more about wrestling, some of the wrestling stuff that I haven't got a chance to talk about. And JTG has been ranting his unhappiness on Twitter and backstage because of a lot of his friends that are mid-carders. They were upset with how little they got paid for the WrestleMania 28 buyout. They said that most guys were afraid to speak up. Zack Ryder also was frustrated about his lack of television time. I guess that didn't hurt him because Zack's actually been on Raw, been on TV a little bit more as of late, and actually won a match against Daniel Bryan a week back. So Zack is actually getting time. JTG, not so much. And JTG, I don't know. I don't usually say this about guys, but JTG probably should just shut up and be lucky he has a job, because when was the last time, if ever, JTG's been relevant or actually done anything? Then he's mad because his friends, his mid-card friends, didn't get paid what they thought they should have got paid at WrestleMania 28. But I mean, does it really concern him? Because he wasn't getting paid. He was nowhere near WrestleMania 28. He did nothing in the event, and he's not going to be on WrestleMania because he just doesn't have it. I'm not saying that the mid-card guys that were on the event shouldn't be upset, but the guys like The Rock and Cena and Punk and Jericho, Taker, they're going to get the majority of the payout because they were in the main event in the big matches near the end of the card, as opposed to at the beginning or the middle. They had a little Twitter war going on. Kevin Nash had made some comments saying that WrestleMania, I believe it was 20, when it ended with Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit hugging, was the death of wrestling. And Chris Jericho Y2J did not like that comment at all. He said that it was funny how Nash says wrestling died that night when Benoit and Guerrero were the champs. If it yet the worst year for the WWE business-wise was 1995 when Kevin Nash as Diesel at the time was on top. Nash replied saying that once again the puppet master pulls the mark strings. He always knew Jericho was a closet mark, and then he said the first one eliminated on a BS singing show. Really? Jericho then replied saying he hoped Nash doesn't tear his quad, tweeting, "It's a typical big man, #NWO third wheel." actually wasn't true because Hall and Nash started it, and that would have technically made Hogan the third wheel. But anyway, Roddy Piper came in and said, how can you not dig Jericho? MVP said Nash is right. Smaller guys don't draw. I mean, who would pay any money to watch itty-bitty guys like Mayweather or Pacquiao? Of course, he was being sarcastic. Chavo Guerrero Sr. didn't like the comments, of course, saying that Eddie Guerrero would tear Nash down physically if they ever got into the ring. Kevin Nash later on went and said that he didn't mean it, personally from Eddie and Benoit, who he was friends with both of them. He said he was just saying business-wise from a fan standpoint. Fans sometimes don't want to see small guys that they believe they could take. They'd rather see the big guys like Nash. But to me, I'd rather see the smaller guys like Benoit, Guerrero, the Punks, the Daniel Bryants who can wrestle, who can move around, and not guys like Nash who could go get up to make himself a ham and cheese sandwich and break his kneecap because he can't move. Anyway, they were talking about dropping Brodus Clay's gimmick and giving him more of kind of an edge because he's set to appear in the upcoming WWE film No One Lives. I would love to see Brodus Clay with an edgier gimmick, anything to get out of this Funkasaurus thing. And I thought that his character would be hurt a little bit. And there you see, Mom, if you're watching, your little grandson, Jacoby, now being able to do what his brother does in Chicken Head Notes, or what he did when he was his age. But anyway, I'd love to see Clay out of the Funkasaurus thing. I thought his gimmick in his career might have been hurt when his one of his Funkadelics, his dancer Cameron, was caught with a DUI, and actually it was reportedly allegedly trying to bribe a cop and give him $10,000. She was just suspended for 15 days, which of course made former Abraham Washington Brian Jaffe, his real name, irate, saying that a backup dancer basically can get a DUI. She's only suspended for 15 days, but he was fired for trying to back Linda McMahon and making jokes that were outdated anyway. King Mohammed Lawal, the UFC fighter, said he's going to start in OVW. Actually started on September 1st. He should be debuting in Impact Wrestling in October. Speaking of the UFC star Diego Sanchez, he is credited with all the yes chants in the UFC, said he would like to work with Daniel Bryan and kind of bring the whole yes chant man from UFC together with the whole yes chant from the WWE, and that would be kind of interesting. It'd probably be some funny segments with those two. Daniel Bryan and Kane delivering funny segments right now, but it's just not the whole hug it out thing in wrestling. Just isn't my cup of tea. It doesn't appeal to me, but whatever. Also, something that was old Claire Lynch, the whole gimmick with her being AJ Styles, his baby's mama. Her real name, Julia Riley, storyline was ended abruptly because her identity was revealed. She's actually an actress, and she was actually olive oil at the Universal Studios theme park, which makes you wonder if, in fact, Wrestling TNA officials just went out looking for someone, said, hey, you on your break? I know you work at the theme park here, but we need an actress, somebody to come in and do some bad acting in our wrestling organization. And she said, hey, I'm your gal, so she came on in. I'm glad, I don't care how abruptly that thing was ended, I'm glad they ended that storyline, because it was one of the stupid things that were going on in Impact. And they've actually, to me, cleaned up their act a little and gotten a little better. And one last note to end this episode, Kurt Angle tweeted that he wants the top spot in the company or he might leave, and then he fixed that up, said he would not leave, but he just wants a better structured deal. But that's all the time I have right now. See you later.